two types of comics. There's writers or performers, and the goal is to become a mix of both, right? You have to be a great writer, but you also have to be a great performer. So you have to figure out whatever you're weaker at and make that work. I am naturally a great performer, right? I can go on stage and whatever. So I had to learn how to write, right? So when I have people who tell me like, hey, you're like a great performer, how do you learn how to do that? I tell them the same thing. I go do karaoke. I did karaoke 5 days a week for a year straight and didn't drink. I wasn't a drinker, but I bombed doing stand-up really bad. So I still had the itch and I did karaoke. But karaoke teaches you stage presence without having to worry about the material. I'm really getting into streaming. Like way too,
oh yeah?
Yeah, it was really like loving doing it during the COVID. But now that I moved to New Jersey. I was in Queens for like 18 years.
Wow.
I have like a basement, which first of all, really hilarious. I don't know if anyone can see this podcast. I bought a backdrop. It's
Yeah.
this forest. It was way
Yeah.
too small. I thought it was going to be the size of my
Yeah, it is
wall.
pretty
It's
small.
like 4 feet long, and you can just see this horrible fucking basement I'm in.
You just have to move yourself further back, I think. Or buy another
Oh,
one and then extend it.
this thing is 3 feet behind me. There's no getting closer unless it's just like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know why the depth looks like so much further back.
yeah, because I put a light.
Okay, all right. Added a little bit there.
Anyway,
When I asked you about the one word, did something come to mind for you for that?
I did I did my homework and
Eh,
I found a word, but let me pull up my there was two I was before with which is uh eudemonic and
demonic?
existentially buoyant. Eudemonic means living with a sense of flourishing and meaning, not just pleasure, which I've kind of come into a little bit recently. But then existentially buoyant, that the aware life is absurd, yet still joyfully afloat. That's probably where I'm at the most. Like just living, I'm living in a complete. Let me know. We started or you didn't start?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll just cut in at a part that
Got
makes sense. Yeah.
it. Like this, I like this. It's kind of like two words really, but existentially buoyant. I kind of loved when that came. I did chat GPT. I was like, here's all the things. Help me with a word because I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
good with words or grammar. If you
Sure.
said like, what's the word that came to mind? I'd go awesome. Like that's where I'm at, fucking dramatically and educationally.
I had one guest, Tommy Fitz, a comedian from Canada. He just said, bananas? I was like, sure, let's talk about bananas for a little bit. That's
No,
great.
but I love this idea of existentially buoyant, like just knowing that life is absurd, like everything we live is horrible and
Yeah.
crazy, and we shouldn't be here, and nothing fucking makes sense. So just ride the wave and just try to have a good time. And not to have a good time, but like try to leave stuff for other people and try to. It's weird, man. Life is fucking weird. It's
It's
fucking
weird.
weird that we exist. Real quick, are you religious at all? Because this
Not really,
conversation goes a
no.
whole other way if you're religious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, not really.
yeah. It's also a
I
reason
believe
why.
there's something, but like, what is that? Like, who the fuck knows? Like,
Let me ask you: do you believe that that something is a being that is conscious and is making decisions for us or against us or created us? Really, it's
no.
a conscious being.
I think it's something that we can't even understand. Like I think our little monkey brains can't even like comprehend like the intelligence of whatever this thing is behind the universe in itself. So like if and then you run into that paradox of like, okay, there's a creator, well then what created the creator?
Of course.
And then you're just kind of going in circles. So if there's this like kind of force or whatever, this thing that's out there that's pushing and pulling on the universe, then you can call that sort of the like a in a factory, a machine creates stuff. Same thing. Actually, the best comparison is the computer. So if I want to move my mouse, there's a little there's a something in the computer that sends a signal that then sends it to the mouse that moves it around.
Mhm.
But I don't see that process happening, but there's a whole world that's happening inside of the computer and I'm just outside of it doing its whole purpose is to serve me and all the things that I need to do here. But there
Mhm.
could be an entire like city in my computer for all I know, doing all of this shit. If you look at the inside of like a cell, there's all of these things moving around and like they need to be doing their job in order for you to stay alive.
Right.
And so it's like, so what are we powering, or what are we like a part of? Are we the cell of something that's bigger, and that's just all it is? Like, for all I know, it's so it's such a complicated thing, which makes you revert back to that. It's all stupid. Who cares?
Right, it's all stupid. Fuck it, just believe in
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
That's where I go. I'm like, fuck it, it's all
yeah.
stupid. I'll just do God. A guy
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
a
sure.
jerk off. That's easy.
Exactly.
Why even care?
Exactly. You always start to understand why they just made a guy, because they're like,
Right.
if we talk about it for too long, everyone's gonna lose their mind.
And why you would do all this crazy shit for him, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm willing to hate gay people, accept pedophiles. I mean, I'm willing to do all of this stuff as long as I don't have to face the fact that when I die, game over and all this confusing shit, right? Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
they
yeah,
could have
yeah.
sold you anything. Man in a beard, they could have been like, it's a lizard with 80 dicks, and if you fucking cross him, he fucks you with all the dicks. It'd be like, sure,
80 ticks.
that's better than what the reality is, because
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
reality is so scary and beautiful at the same time. Uh,
Hmm.
Real quick, I want to get back to something you said, which was about who created the creator. I do believe when you break everything down, there's two types of people. There are people who believe something uh, came from nothing, and people who believe that nothing came from something, or like there's always been a thing, or
Hmm.
like, so I think that like the religious people are like, no, God was always, and God made us, right? But the
Yeah,
others
yeah.
are like, no, it was nothing was first, and then something came, right?
Right.
And I just think, and I kind of live in the camp of nothing was first, and then something
I think we
happened.
go between nothing and something all the time.
What do you mean?
I think the Big Bang
Hmm.
was when it created from nothing into something. But I think what happens is the universe expands, 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 and then like an elastic, it snaps back, and then we're back to nothing.
And we're back to
And then
nothing.
it's another 400 million years of it expanding, expanding, expanding,
What do you
life
mean 400
creating,
million
and
years?
then
If there's nothing, how can
nothing.
time exist? There's no
Well, you
time.
know what I mean.
No,
To
I know, but I'm
us.
saying like that's the
Yeah,
thing. But there
yeah.
is no time when
Yeah.
nothing exists. So is it immediate or is it later? Like that's a
Yeah.
really crazy question, right?
It's
Like
really crazy.
when what is time? Also, we are way too dumb of people to even
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
do
yeah,
this. You
yeah.
know, try like there's a
Yeah, yeah.
fucking my physicist teacher friend is probably listening to this going, yeah, I can answer that, and you're all
Jesus
dumb.
Christ. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
no, but I think about that shit.
But that's what I love about podcasts is like podcasts are different from a normal conversation, because in a normal conversation, your physicist friend would have just pulled it up on his phone and been like, here's why you're wrong. And then just gone through the list of stuff on his phone and explained it perfectly to you. And then we would have just moved on in conversation. But it's much more fun to like fuck around and theorize and like put out your dumb ideas for 20 minutes and then end it not knowing.
Guessing and being wrong is great.
It's the
So
best.
sorry, and this is where I stand on podcasting now, and that's where all podcasting fucked up. Because
Yeah.
right now we're in a place where podcasting has ruined America, right? Podcasting and AI have teamed up and destroyed this country
You're very right. You're
already.
very right. Yeah,
Already,
yeah.
right? Now, AI isn't already fuck.
No.
AI. I'm sorry, my mind's going to 15 places, so allow me to.
Yeah.
We thought, and I'm going to get back to this podcasting thing, but
Right.
something I thought of this morning is we thought that when the robots took over, we were going to be fighting robots with machine guns and cannons. But
Right.
we are already fighting the robots, but they're internet bots. And they're just like, the fighting is, no, Trump is good. Like, it's like, no, they've already, we are already,
Yeah.
they've already taken over. The algorithm is in control of everything.
Oh yeah.
We've
Do you know the
already,
dead
not
internet
conscious.
theory?
It's not a theory. It's
No.
real. The internet's gone, dude. It's been gone. Maybe there's like 2% you and
Yeah.
me. And like, sorry, I know that you want to talk, and I'd love to talk, but I had a
It's
coffee and I
okay.
took my Adderall, and I gotta fucking slow down. I
I'm the exact same way. I piss people off all the time. I'm like, all I do is talk over and then try to cut in with an idea. So I go 100%. I'm good.
yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. You can just say, "Let me jump in," and I'll let you
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
very,
Cool. Cool.
I've learned my issues.
Yeah.
I won't bulldoze over you, but I might go on for a while, and I
Go
hate.
for it. Go for it.
Yesterday I was online, and I was there. Someone had posted a thing that was like, Beyonce Knowles. It was a picture of Beyonce Knowles in denim laying down in the same position that Sydney Sweeney was. And then somebody wrote, um, how come black people aren't in any trouble for cultural appropriation, blonde hair or whatever, right? And I'm like, this is gonna be wild. Let's get into these comments, right? But then it went into like you can't take white people's culture because white people don't have culture, right? And that is a thing that makes me mad. Like I'm very much left super left, right? But
Yeah.
there are things that make me so mad that I'm like, no, stop it. Don't say that white people don't have culture, right? And then all the
Yeah.
comments were like, mayonnaise, fucking Karens, that's white people culture. And I'm like, yo, this is all racism, and it's making me angrier and angrier, right? I'm just
Yeah.
getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And then I was gonna write skateboarding, punk rock, snowboarding, right? And then I went, wait a minute, man, you're mad. You got mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone got you. Who got you? And then I went, all of these comments, who knows how many are real? Who knows if any of them are real? But what it did was it got you. Get the
Hmm.
fuck out of here. And I went, yeah. I sat back and then I went, what I'm going to do now is write a joke. I'll write a joke about my feelings here and then I will be okay.
Oh,
And
that's
then it's like,
brilliant, Craig. That's the
oh,
way to do it.
yeah.
Channel the anger into something actually beneficial to your life, you know? Because a joke for a comedian can change your life, where a
Yeah.
comment on an Instagram post does nothing. All it does is give you anxiety all day because you're checking the replies of people going, "No, you're a fucking idiot. No, you're a fucking idiot." Back and forth. The one that pisses me off the most is on Facebook. There'll be like a clearly AI post of like, look at what these children in Africa built out of just empty water bottles, and it's like a castle.
Sure.
And then there'll be like 50 comments that are like, this is beautiful. I can't wait to share this with my friends. And then it's 50 people commenting on those people going, you're an idiot. This is AI. This is fake, that whatever. And I, again, early on, had to catch myself going like, what do I care to tell these people if this is real or not real?
Hmm.
Like, if they believe it's real and they go along their day, like, okay, how does that affect me at all? Like,
Right.
all it did was take up my time, like commenting and replying to these people that think this shit is real.
And here's the thing: when you're commenting, when you're replying, you're not doing other things, like not that I'm ever reading, but like something that might be more beneficial for you, like there's thinking or doing. It's crazy how we've been
Yeah.
how and here's the thing: podcasting numbers are down across the board for a lot of people. I just do believe because people aren't tuning into anything because they're watching videos or short. Nobody has time anymore between
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. You know?
They have to be really, I think, invested in the person on the podcast. So that's why like for me, I prefer to do interview based podcasts, like one on one stuff. And more and more, it's for me, it's like a melding of the different like fan bases or networks from each person. Because I personally like listening to podcasts. The way that I find out about podcasts is through other podcasts. And
Yeah.
like as a podcast fan, I just keep like finding new stuff. And now like Bonfire, perfect example. I heard about it through Legion of Skanks, and then that
Sure.
made me go listen to the Bonfire and you know, back when it was like Soder and Jay and hilarious dynamic. And then that introduced me to so many other people that have podcasts or are comedians or whatever. So I still think on a micro niche scale, podcasts are like a great connection for comedians because it's like it's going to provide a base for you to promote your shows. It's going to provide like moments where you can just be funny in conversation, which is how most of us started in comedy, is just
Mhm.
being funny with our friends and then deciding that we wanted to go do that, right? And
Yeah.
so I think it really like fosters that environment, but it's you can't look at too much of yeah, but like who are the non-comedians watching the podcast? It's like they'll come when they come. It's a
Right.
long game. Even for comedy, it's a long game. So just keep doing it and it'll build eventually.
Yeah, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the exact
okay,
attitude to have. Who gives a shit?
I'm doing this live stream now. I say I do it every Wednesday, but the reality is I'm doing it every single day, and I'm not really
Okay,
posting
that's
yet because it's a kind of a musical live stream where
oh cool.
yeah, it's crazy. I have like this. I have a band. This is so crazy. I have a band called Night Cream where we just we
Night
I'm
cream.
Night Cream, baby. And we got an
Okay,
album.
nice.
We're recording our second album soon. Well, the first album was with another guy. Night Cream is really just me and the people I can get around to being in the band at that time. Um, but we did it. Oh, so I enjoy. I'm not a musician, right? But I have like a looping machine, and I have a and I enjoy making music. But I won't sit here and be like, I don't have any training, right? So the reason I started this live stream was I was like, I want to get better at using this machine, but I can't give a half hour a day to like I have two kids, to
Right.
just sit and learning. So I was like, fuck it. And I know my brain. I know my brain won't allow, like, I need people to say you're funny or this is good. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna live stream myself practicing on this thing,
Right.
like doing stuff. And then if I do that every day, I'll just get better. And so now I have people being like, just people watching me just like, da, 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 dun, dun, like having fun and doing bullshit and being, it's funny. Um, but old Greg would not have ever let him do that because old Greg would have been like, no, everything needs to be practiced. You're not this kind of comedian. You're not a musical
Mm,
comedian. Musical comedy is bullshit. And it's like, no, be an artist, man. Try something
yes.
you're not good at. Paint a picture. I don't give a fuck if you can't paint. Painting feels good. Paint a fucking picture. And then
Preaching to the choir, man.
work
That
whatever
this
your
this
art is.
album behind me, that's a hip hop album that I made from 2020 to 2022.
I can't see it. What's
It's
it called?
oh, I go the other way. It's called Undeniably
Oh,
Dope.
Johnny Rogers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah.
Because in 2020, like I couldn't do comedy. I'm not gonna do comedy in a fucking park. I'm not gonna do stand up on a Zoom. I shut down. I was like, well, fuck. I just wasted the last 9 years of my life doing stand up and like doing open mics every single night, trying to get better at this thing. And then all of a sudden, it's all taken away. I'm like, well, what the hell do I do now? Like, and then I was like, well, I've always wanted to do music, and I've always been friends with like people that are rappers, and
Right.
I
You're
was like,
friends with a lot of people that are rappers?
yeah, I have a lot of I have a couple friends that are legit rappers.
That's great.
My buddy 11, he has like the Guinness World Record for the most amount of he did a song and a music video every single day for a year. And he
Whoa.
got a world record. He ended up doing more. He did one day he did like two songs and two music videos in a day. He has the same ability as like Harry Mack to take on like suggestions and then just improvise an
This is what
entire
I'm doing
song.
every day. This is what I'm
It
doing.
it's
Every day on my
brilliant.
live stream, but I'm not a rapper. And it's a lot of talking, but it's anyway. Sorry, no, I don't
Hey, but
make music videos.
it's still
Yeah,
art, it's still music, you know what I
it's still
mean?
art.
So and
And here,
just pushing out the fear of who's gonna think of this in some way, or what are people gonna say, or all of that is bullshit because what I realized is even though I'm not still making music, it actually helped me on stage. Like I now
yeah,
have a better like timing with my jokes because I had to be like on beat with certain songs that I was doing and it taught me timing. So I'm like,
dude,
oh, one creative just literally helped me with another creative.
something that I've always told people, and this is a two-parter, so hang on, is that
Strap in.
when comics talk to me, because like there's two types of comics, there's writers or performers, and the goal is to become a mix of both, right? You have to be a great writer, but you also have to be a great performer, so you have to figure out whatever you're weaker at and make that work. I am naturally a great performer, right? I can go on stage and whatever. So I had to learn how to write, right? So when I have people who tell me like, hey, you're like a great performer, how do you learn how to do that? I tell them the same thing. I go do karaoke. I did karaoke 5 days a week for a year straight and didn't drink. I wasn't a drinker, but I bombed doing stand up really bad. So I still had the itch and I did karaoke. But karaoke teaches you stage presence without having to worry about the material, right? If
Right.
you can go up
Totally.
on stage and sing a horrible fucking song, not even good, and you can keep it interesting, man, you're just getting on, and you're getting on stage every fucking day, not having to find a mic. It's like, dude, go do karaoke. That's going to help your stage presence. Also, if you're
Yeah.
scared to do open mics, just do so much fucking karaoke. Eventually, you'll just go do it. Um, there. That being
Yeah.
said, sorry because this is a two-parter, and
Yeah.
I wanted to close the loop on this,
Go
but
for it.
I do have umbrage with what you said about wasting time, and I know that you probably didn't mean it because you literally disproved yourself after you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in wasted time in any like learning comedy. Every one of these things is you're in the gym, you just don't know what you're in the gym for, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like who knew? Like, man, Night Cream is about to put out an album, and it's going to be one of the biggest albums to ever come out, musically, comedically. It's going to change everything. Who knew that 25 years of stand up was just to get me to become a Madison Square Garden rock band? I didn't know that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
I'm not. I mean, I kid about that, but the reality is like,
No,
yeah,
that's you're
like
right. Yeah.
I took improv for 6 years for actually for fun, and it made my stand up so much better. Like all of that stuff. It's you don't
Yeah.
even also you could quit comedy and then get into like some business job, and you turns out you're just nasty at delivering meetings because you don't know what you're in the
Yeah,
gym.
I just hosted and officiated a wedding like 2 days ago, and everybody was like, "Damn, you did that without even like blinking." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I've done stand up like nonstop for forever." So it's like, yeah, just put me behind a mic, we're good. And then even before I started doing stand up, I was like really into professional wrestling, like WWE.
Yeah, I know.
And so
Yeah.
I went I went to a school and I learned how to be like a wrestler. And then I realized in doing that, oh, I don't like getting smacked around. I just like the
Right.
performance of it. And then
Right.
that literally pushed me towards stand up because it's like, oh, you get to be a character. You get to be in front of people performing this if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
It's the
That's
best.
great.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Um,
no wasted time.
no wasted time. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't. I was going to get back into why the Earth is created, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
yeah.
have to
Oh,
circle back to that somehow.
well, to go back to that word,
Yeah,
it's like, man, I'm trying to make all of this stuff based. Like, I don't want to say I lost in comedy, right? Because especially saying that to somebody who's younger than me in comedy, and I'm very lucky for the things I've been able to do. Like, I'm really happy, right? Then I had two kids, and the kids are really expensive, so times are fucking hard right now, right? So it's I had to come to terms with the fact that like I can quit comedy and go get a better job. But how would I rather face my children? Would I rather face
yeah.
my
Hmm.
children and say, "Hey, I'm sorry that sometimes we're broke, sometimes we're not, but daddy is an artist and daddy does the thing he loves and it doesn't matter. You can do the thing you love. It doesn't fucking matter if you're rich or not." Or do
Yeah.
I want to say what my dad did is like, "Oh yeah, I was doing comedy. I quit because I had you kids and you needed this, but I never followed it." It's like, "I'm sorry. I would rather I'd rather my kids see
It's inspiration versus resentment. Be-
success without money. It's like money
yes.
doesn't equal success.
Yes.
I mean, being a creative is
Getting
fucking
to do this is the success. The fact that you get to do stand up, that you get to go on a live stream and make music, that you get to do all of these things, I think would show your kids that like, yeah, don't look at the money first. Look at like what is the thing that lights a fire in you that like when you start doing it, like that's all you can think about. That's all you want to like focus on and what you want to build and what you want to get better at. And then I tell lots of people too that come to me with like, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that. I'm like, try it. And if you hate it, that's also fine.
right.
But like the point is you tried it. You're not gonna live your life going, oh, what if I had have done? Because you don't know. Like you just do it, fail at it, and then see if failing at it doesn't suck that much enough for you to come back and do it again. Because
Right.
nobody's gonna be good at anything right away.
Right. Or yeah. But are you having fun? Like I used to see these guys at bringer shows and they were horrible. They were fucking horrible. But they were there every week and they loved doing it. And I was like, "Yo, you don't ever need anything else. This is what you got." I always say like my new thing that's very much like past 40, what I live my life by is make art and find money. Right? A lot of comedians are like, "Make your art, make money off your art, and that's how you know you're successful because you fucking did it." And it's like, no, make your art and then you just find money however you find money, right? Kevin Hart isn't a full-time comedian. He makes money from movie. He has so
Mm,
every comedian is
yeah,
making money from other things,
yeah.
right? Like podcasting or movie
Most comedians are making money from like corporate gigs, and nobody even thinks about that. Like
stand
your
up.
favorite comedians are like doing fucking an hour in front of the Walmart head office for their Christmas party, and they're getting paid 20 grand to do it. It's like they don't want to do that, but they need to do that because that's where the money is.
Found the money to feed to feed themselves or to feed their
Yeah.
art, right? And that's like, yeah, don't let that shit get in your fucking
Yeah.
way. Don't
You
let
got
that.
to watch your nut though. Did you watch the latest do you watch South Park at all?
I won't. This is what sucks, right? South Park was like, I was like, fuck you, I'm canceling Paramount, right?
Okay.
And I was like, well, actually, I didn't have Paramount anyway, but I was like, I'm not getting Paramount, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck this, whatever. But now they're on Paramount. So, like, how do I watch the people who are fighting Paramount when they're on Paramount?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
I,
just like I just stream it from a site. I don't pay for shit when it comes
oh,
to that sort of stuff. But the newest episode is all about like they're making fun of the right wing podcasters,
right.
and the one guy, the Clyde in their school says everyone's mad at Clyde, and they're like, why are they mad at Clyde? Well, he says all these things about women, and he's saying all these like horrible shit, and he goes, yeah, man, I got to make my nut. I got Xbox Live. I've got all
Yeah,
this stuff. So I just go online and say some divisive shit and I make my nut. He does
right.
like, he has like a He-Man protein that he like pushes and shit. And then
So it's
Garrison ends up joining ICE because he needs his
gonna make his
monthly
nut. I
nut.
saw this.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
I gotta I'm
good.
so sorry. I don't want to do this. I gotta make my nut. I
And the
saw that.
banker's like, well, here's what happens when you make more money, you get a bigger nut.
Yeah.
And it's just such a perfect commentary on that. And like, it's so true. Like, the more money you make, the more you seem to spend. And it's like, but if you can maintain, a certain lifestyle and not go crazy if you start making money, it's like you actually can get to a point where you can just make art for the sake of art and not really have to stress or worry about where, the next paycheck is going to come from.
Right. But also, I mean, to what we're talking about with this, with comedy, I have a new philosophy I kind of look at, which seems simple. If I say it, it seems simple, but it's like I need to keep saying it to myself. It's like I'm all those big podcasters, like they're McDonald's. I'm
Yeah.
not competing with McDonald's, right? McDonald's isn't your best cheeseburger. It's McDonald's, right? I am a local comedian. And I don't mean local like you come to my town. Like, no man, I'm gonna be a just around me. I'm a mom and pop shop comedian, right? Because you
Yeah.
can't compete with McDonald's. When you first started with podcasting and Instagram, you could just put on a camera and get going. But it's bullshit now. Like they have full TV. You can't compete with what Theo Vaughn. Like, look, this is a theory, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't give a fuck. But he's rich. Like his parents were rich when he started his fucking podcast. He had everything he needed, right? He had the cameras, the space,
Yeah.
whatever. Dude, nobody. You know how hard it was for me to even find a place to record a podcast in.
Oh man.
You
I
know,
remember early podcasting. It was brutal. I started in 2015 doing a podcast. It was audio only, and I paid a guy to like, can I use this room in your studio to record for like an hour?
yeah,
Because I had nowhere. It was like a basement that I could do it in like that, and I couldn't invite people over to do it there. And it's totally know what you're saying. Some people are just, they have the backing to do these things, and then everyone else thinks like, oh wow, it's so, the humble beginnings of where they started. It's like, no, they're at that point for a reason. They've had investors backing them the whole way, basically.
yeah. Or they just had, yeah. The
They
parents
just
were
had
rich.
the right tools. Yeah, yeah. Parents are rich.
Dude, everybody in stand up now is like these kids
Oh,
are fucking rich. They're coming
Tim
into
Dillon talks about that, about how they're all like nepo babies that are like getting into to stand up.
I can't compete with that. People are like, why don't you
Crazy.
put up more clips? Because putting up a clip takes me at least an hour or 2 hours every day if I want to put one up. And that's taking time away from my kids, taking away from writing.
Mm,
And I prefer to be a better writer. I prefer to be a better comedian. So I'm not gonna do that. Right. I'm not gonna put the time into that. And I've had like success on Instagram. And it's like, if I would just stick with it, I'm sure it would go bigger. And then, but I mean, I've put like a year into like, all right, I'm just gonna focus on this. And then it didn't really pay off the way I wanted to. And I'm like, well, fuck that, because everything is suffering now. Now that I have
yeah.
kids, I don't have time to do that shit. And I'm not trying to compete with McDonald's anymore. I'm not
Hmm.
trying to compete with McDonald's. I'll just be my fucking mom and pop comedy shop, you know?
Have you heard of Opus Clip?
Yeah, I use it. It's
Okay,
not
cool.
perfect,
It's
but I
not
do.
great, but it does help cut down on the process, because I would type out my captions word for word, and that would take hours or
Right.
days, even like if it was like a longer thing, and that just sped up the process so much more. But yeah, it is not
It gets you closer to
perfect.
the, yeah, it does. It gets you closer to
Yeah.
like what the
I
clip
like
is.
that it gives you a transcript of your act, so you can
Right.
kind of see like, okay, this can go in or whatever. One thing I really wanted to ask you about, and I'm going to politely ask you, could you share this story of you drunkenly jumping on stage with Michael Bolton? I read that
Oh
in your
man.
bio.
Yeah, that's such an old bio that I hate.
Okay.
I don't even.
I
Yeah,
was like, I read that, and I was like, what?
so funny. Someone wrote that bio for me, and I didn't change it.
Okay, great.
I do not that I hate it. It's just like such an old. It's like a bit. I turned it into a bit in
Okay.
2007. Uh, and because now people listening probably want to hear it, and I really don't want to. I really don't want to tell it.
Don't worry about it. That's even better if we don't. Well, we'll put it on the Patreon, and then we won't do it.
Great story. I just don't. I don't. Anyway, I don't know.
Okay.
Also, too, like we just got into some really juicy shit that I love talking about. Like
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to. I don't want to
yeah,
do a. I don't want to do a script now. Um,
yeah. Totally.
yeah. Do you have other? Did you write questions down?
I always have like a list of questions, but it's only ever if because I've had conversations where it's like going great, like we're riffing or whatever, but again, they're I can never tell if the person is going to feel like this is interview style.
Right.
Like there's been a couple guests that I had where it dipped, and I'm like, we can't have dead air, buddy. This is a
Let me,
podcast. Like, let's
let me pause you right now, and I'm going to argue you.
okay.
Yes, you can. Fuck it. Stop it. Why are we doing this thing where it's like, look, man, if it's like three, do you think that that goes silent and then people go, fuck it, turn it off? You know, like, no. let things breathe. Who cares? We
Yeah,
don't
I
care
you
because we're
can let
made.
things breathe if like I ask you a question and you need to think about it. I think there's moments. But like for me personally, I'm talking about my own insecurities, right?
Right.
If you're looking at me like, okay, buddy, what's next? Like this is my podcast. You're looking at me like, where are we going to take this?
Right.
And if I feel like if I need a second to think about where I want to take this,
Right.
that's where I start to get it's the same thing on stage, being comfortable in silence.
Right. I 1000% agree with you to have questions and be prepared because a lot of podcasters refuse to fucking be prepared.
Yeah.
And that's annoying as hell. I would love to come on a podcast and someone just has questions that they've wanted to actually ask me. Like that would be the dream. Never do I get that. It's always, I'm on a podcast. Now I have to fucking host your fucking podcast because you just decided to have a podcast. But a big theory, a big philosophy I have in podcasting is that most people who listen to podcasts believe that the people they're listening to are now like friends, right? So they almost become like friends with them. And when you have a friend, so when you're in the car with somebody you don't know, you will fight to keep the conversation going. But when you're in the
Mm,
car with someone you love and it gets a little slow, you don't mind. That's your best friend, right?
true.
So sometimes when you're a podcast and it starts going slow or there wasn't a joke every fucking second, it's better because you're letting people breathe. I'm not telling you how to do a podcast. I'm just telling you things that I've recently um started finding out is better. Like that's better, it's just better for me. In comedies, it's not going a million miles an hour, slowing down, being in the moment, and being okay that not every single thing is hilarious. You only need like three big laughs in a podcast. Really.
Yeah,
Three.
yeah, yeah.
I listen to Conan. I remember Conan is the best podcaster, in my opinion. No one funnier than fucking Conan O'Brien. I walk away from an episode, I go, oh man, remember that one thing he said that was hilarious? Great. Great.
Right. And
I was
that's all you
entertained the
need.
whole time. You just
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah.
entertaining the whole time. Let me tell you how to do podcasting. Look at what an asshole I am. I'm gonna kill myself. Um, yeah,
Uh,
but I was just hoping that you had I was like when you said you had questions, I was like, oh man, that would be cool if I can fucking
I do
relax.
have questions. Do you want to hear one of my questions?
Would love to hear a question.
Um, Comedy has changed a lot over the last decade. What's one thing you miss from old school stand up, and what's one thing you love about the current scene?
Oh man. Um, See, this is where it gets scary for me because so I am definitely super left wing, right? But
Yeah.
right wing people sometimes have points. And I'm like, and that's why people
It's
follow them.
almost like things are nuanced.
Right. But also like the things that people get mad like, you know, that's why I hate when people politically argue like they're wrong. It's like, no, no, no. If they're mad about something, there's something there that we need to investigate and possibly fix, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I am not against diversity, but I am for comedy first, right? I am for you need to be if you're a comedian, you need to be so when the Comedy Cellar, I work at the Comedy Cellar. It's a comedy club. I'm sure you know about it.
Yeah. I've heard
But
about
like,
it once or
yeah,
twice.
yeah. It's a hard. It was always the top of the mountain of the club to get into, right? And when I was trying to get into it, you needed to be doing comedy for 10 years, and everyone in comedy was 10 years till you really get anything. What was bad, what I hate about comedy now is it's not that way, right? It's like it's followers, it's do people getting past after 3 4 years, and because everything in comedy now is you can film it, you can put it online. Actually, yeah, this is going to exactly where I want to say it's going. Don't watch Kill Tony. I saw a clip come up about Kill Tony. And the reason I don't watch Kill Tony is because not even the show is fucking original, okay? The show it's a fucking feedback mic that the Creek and the Cave that when it used to be in Queens, we had a billion of these shows. You
Right.
have a new comic on and you shit on them. Hilarious, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
not for the internet. That's not for TV, right?
Yeah.
And so that idea is not even original. So I just get like, and plus he's not fucking funny. And every person I know who's met him says he's a fucking asshole. So fuck you. I'm not supporting your bullshit. Anyway, sorry. That being said, um, this clip came up in my feed, and it was this dude literally doing Mitch Hedberg. Like he's literally doing spot on impression of Mitch Hedberg, and that's online. And then everyone immediately was mad, right? They're like, he's a ripoff, he's a fucking sellout, he's bullshit. And yes, sure. But when you start comedy, most comedians are ripping somebody off,
Yeah.
right? But it's 10 years of open micing to find your voice, right? Like when
Yeah.
I started, I was Ben Bailey. I was like, "How's everyone doing? I'm Greg Stone." Like it was literally like a Ben Bailey impression.
Right.
That's how I did it. This poor fucking asshole is doing it in a way more embarrassing way because he's way just clearly ripping off Mitch Hedberg,
Right.
right? But he is now online way too fast, right? So he may get 1 billion followers. Now this motherfucker has to be Mitch Hedberg. He's never going to grow as a comic, right?
No, because he's going to be pigeonholed into that like
Pigeonhole
character.
into the first thing he tried. He never learned
Oh
the
man.
art.
Because I'll
Second,
do that sometimes when I'm writing jokes. I'll think like, how would like Bill Burr say this joke? And then
right.
I'll try to think of it like as Bill Burr doing this material. Or how would George Carlin talk about this joke? Oh, okay, dial it back a little bit. And then I add my voice to it.
That's a great way to start, right? Like when you
Yeah.
start, you go like, I used to get mad at like, would Bill Burr do a joke like this? And I go, no, he wouldn't. Then why would I? And I go, yeah, because you're not Bill Burr. So
Yeah.
you do the joke that way, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
never going to find your own voice until you
Yeah.
get a good starting off point, but then you have to be like, well, what do I find
That's
funny?
the other thing too that bothers me is like early on comedians, and I did this too. We see professional comedians tackling these big subjects, and we think that we can do it too. It's like no, start with like what's weird about like your day or like do you like a pizza that no one likes? Start with a really simple. It hurts when you shit. Start with a really simple concept. Make that funny, and then you can do more complicated topics. But you see early comedians trying to tackle like Israel, Gaza, and you're like, what? You're not gonna find it.
Not to be
Like,
a dick, man. Not to be a dick. No, they should be.
you think so?
Yes, go after the thing that you want to write about, but the crowd will tell you
I
that's the thing.
guess,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
they're
The
not going to
crowd
laugh.
is the
So you go,
feedback.
you'll figure out that you're not.
Yeah, yeah,
You write that joke, and then guess what? 20 years later, 10 years later, you go back and you go, yeah, that idea I had was good. I just didn't
Mhm.
know how to tell it yet. Right.
Right.
So I would never tell anybody, try fucking everything. You got an idea? Try it. What if they stumble upon the greatest Gaza bit of all time? Right. Then they have this like
Yeah,
one joke in their full, 20 minutes of diarrhea jokes.
yeah,
And then they'll
yeah,
look back 10 years and they go, wow, that one joke was who I would eventually become.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
didn't know.
Okay, all right. Well,
I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here with a looping machine. I'm not a musician. I don't give a fuck. I'm putting
yeah,
it out
yeah,
there. Right. But like,
yeah.
it's such this fine nuance of like what makes me mad about comedy now is that like people aren't going to get, or maybe we'll watch them get better. I don't know. But that kid is getting shit on right now,
Yeah.
and that's a thing that he needs to have done and should have done just in the privacy of his own home.
There
Uh,
is an argument though to be made that like the reason why it doesn't take 10 years now to become a greater comic is because there's more resources than ever before in terms of how to be good at comedy. Like there's never been more comedians to learn from through podcasts or specials or books or
for
just
stage time
YouTube videos or stage time. There's
or
so much more
podcast.
stage time than there
Sure.
was. There's so much more practice that they can do. So in theory, that would condense the amount of time that it would take someone to normally take off.
But like, are
What do
they
you
writing
think of that?
to the best? I mean, to me, it's like, hey man, a guy could be great in a year if he's writing to the best of his ability. But like when you're writing a joke and then you're immediately putting it on Instagram and you're not giving, that's what I used to like about old specials. Like it took a long time to make a special. So
Hmm.
you had to just keep doing that joke, and you do that joke 1,000 times and you go, fuck, on the 1,001 time, you go, oh no, this is the better version. But now I just see comics who like, oh, that's the first thought. You said it, you kept saying it, it got a laugh, great. But it's not the best version. And now
Right.
you put it on Instagram and now 1 million people saw a medium joke. I used to get Louis C.K., right? Louis, a special every year? Fuck that. Fuck a special every year. Because even now, Louis is burning
Not very
material.
special.
Yeah. Louis is burning material that he could have took it a longer time to make better.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I don't. I'm also not cranky. Like I want artists to be artists, but I want comedy to be the best version it
Right.
can
Because you
be.
care about it.
I care about it, and I want to watch jokes where someone goes, "I thought I was crazy. That guy made me feel not crazy," and that is he's saying it in a way that I never thought of. And the only
Yeah.
way you're going to say it in a way the crowd isn't thinking is if you wrote 20 different versions of that joke. Sorry.
Yeah, and even expanded on it. Like the thing that I like doing is if I come up with a joke and let's say it's like a minute long joke about I have a joke about expired food. The original joke about it was a minute long, and then I sat and I just wrote the shit out of that one topic
Mhm.
and wrote another 10 minutes on just this concept of expired food. Am I going to use all the 10 minutes? Probably not. There's going to cut down to maybe 3 or 4. But the point is I added an extra length to it and like depth to it that then can lead into something else or expand on another idea. And like, I think that's what you're saying, right? Of just
Yeah, absolutely. I
explore
mean,
more and don't just throw it
just keep
out there
digging.
right away. Just keep digging at it.
Like for me, I hate to like talk about my own jokes, but my favorite joke, it's probably not my best joke, but my favorite joke because I was proud of how I wrote it was, I took something that I was sensitive. My thing is find something for me. It's like find something that you're embarrassed to talk about because
Yeah.
that's something. There's vulnerable. There's real feelings
Yeah.
there. Also,
I have a
other
version of that.
other comics might be afraid to talk about that, and that's where like, oh, if you're brave enough to talk about this, it's a good starting off point so that you're all running right. And so that thing was, man, there was a time I made $7,000 for
I was just gonna say that's my favorite bit of yours.
I made $7,000 for one
It's
year, right? And my
great
wife and
if you
me,
die in
no, don't
February.
ruin that. Let me walk through it. We're walking through it, right? So I was like, yo, that hurts. This
Yeah.
hurts that I made $7,000 one year, right?
Yes.
And then I wrote the setup was like, who makes $7,000 a year? And so I took that joke, that setup, and I wrote 20 different people, right? It was like homeless people, lemonade stands, whatever. And it was the 21st one where I went, people who die in February. That's who makes that kind of money a year, right? Someone who dies in February made the
Right.
same amount of money that I made for a full year, right? And why I love that joke is because every time I say it, I go, do you know who makes that kind of money? Someone in the crowd will try to yell out what they think. But
Right.
drunk, they're not comedians. They're never doing 21. They're never getting there.
Yes.
So I will always beat them, right?
Yeah.
Have to beat the crowd, right? So when they go, homeless people, comedians, that's what they say. I
Yeah.
go, people who die in February. The crowd always laughs. It's because the work went in. I put the
Yeah.
work into that fucking joke. And if I could put the work into every one of those jokes, that's when you become a fucking master. When you sit
Right.
every punchline. Did you do 20 on every punchline? Do 20 on every fucking punchline. Anyway.
Yeah. Doing reps on jokes like that is that's super important. And I know that a lot of comedians are probably doing this right now. They're using ChatGPT to give them the list that you just thought of. And the problem with that is your brain is going to start to fucking atrophy because you're not using it in the way it's meant to be used, which is you think of something, you write it down, and then what does that make you think of? And then you write it down. You can't let a fucking AI system do the thinking for you. And
Right.
then you just mindlessly pick, well, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let's try that. Like, sure, maybe it'll work, but like you're gonna feel robbed of the experience. You're gonna miss out on that moment where you write out people who died in February. And then it's kind of like the aha, holy shit, like it came to
Right.
you moment.
Right. You're not I mean, all of the writing is exercise. You're
Yeah.
training for something else. And when you start, the more you start to do that, right, the faster you get at it. Then were you training to be a better writer? Are you not using Chat GPT because you're not using Chat GPT not to become a better writer? You're not using Chat GPT because when you're on stage and then someone yells something out, you have your mind is quicker at coming up with punchlines. So
Mhm.
yeah, you want to use Chat GPT, your crowd work to be fucking horrible because you're not thinking on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be like, just drawing complete blanks.
Yeah, just get a
Um,
writer. Fuck it.
yeah,
Pay for if you have money, pay for a fucking writer. Fuck
totally.
it. I don't know.
A pay person for sure.
Darn a guard. I hate to talk shit, but like
Yeah, yeah,
motherfucker just got into comedy, paid a comedian to write her act. She wrote her act, and now she's a millionaire. But she came with money. She paid a person. And this is McDonald's comedy. It's like
yeah,
great McDonald's comedy. Great.
yeah. My cousin Ben Alpert, he used to write for Jay Leno, Joan Rivers, a couple other comedians. They would just buy jokes off of him.
I'm
And he
okay.
and he's the comedy writer, but he hates performing. He doesn't want to be on stage. He
Right.
just wants to write for people and then give it away for money, obviously.
I mean, that's great if you're doing a late night show
Yeah.
or you're doing like something that you just need to
You
churn that
need.
much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But your own personal act, and also like I talk my act with friends, and they might give me punchlines. Or
Yeah.
up with I'm fine with that. Like punchlines or these kind of things. Like I'm okay with that. But ChatGPT. I also use ChatGPT, but not for like, hey, give me a punchline. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I really don't feel like writing today. What should I do? And it's like, here's Greg. You're really funny. Keep it going. Do this. I treat ChatGPT like a friend. It is. It's my best friend.
Careful, dude. It's gonna cause, I think in some people, it's gonna cause like psychosis
Mhm.
because it's so affirming. Like you could be like, "Hey, I think the CIA is spying on my emails," and it'd be like, "That's a great insight." Historically, the CIA has spied on people's emails, so you might be on to something. And then they're just gonna keep spiraling, and they'll type something else in there, and it'll affirm that. It'll affirm, like they just banned the AI therapy in Ohio. You can't, like, literally, you're not allowed to use like an AI as a therapist in the state of Ohio, which I think is great because like there's nothing worse than like the thing is the AI has no context of your life. So if you're telling it a problem that you have, it doesn't know that like your dad yelled at you when you were 5 and that caused a trauma over here, and then your parents got divorced at 10, and then your best friend betrayed you at 15, and then
Sure.
this happened to you in college. It doesn't know any of that. It just knows what you just told it, and that's it. Whereas a therapist pulls that stuff out of you. They have that in their mind when they're talking to you.
Yeah, I'm not a. I mean, AI therapy. I don't know much about, but also the way I'm using AI, I also have friends, right? So
Yep.
like, I have
That's the
friends,
way to do it.
and they carry a weight. I am too much for my friends, right? So AI carries that weight of me being like, ah, man, fucking this, blah 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 blah, and then it's like, ah, man, you're good, and then I talk to my friends like, yeah, dude, that's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just it helps me kind of get through. Like, hey, man, give me some writing tools, and it's like,
Right.
oh, okay, blah 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 blah, or it's okay
Writing
to
prompts are okay.
help me move forward as long as my
Yeah.
brain is still the steering the wheel. Also, I don't even
Yeah.
need it that much anymore. But you know, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares?
Um, Greg, I have one last question that I always ask all my guests to kind of close out the show. Uh, Essentially, the question is, what advice would you give to your younger self? But I want you to think of you at 15 years old. So put yourself in that mindset of where you were at 15, and the phone rings and it's you now on the other end, and you can give your younger self a piece of advice or say something to your younger self. What would you say?
Oh man, I'd be it's funny because part of me says, ah, I'm pretty happy. So everything I did was perfect, right? Like I've never done any really horrible things to people. No, I don't really have any regrets. Everything I fucked up on, especially in stand up, has become a funny story. But I would tell myself there are some things that I think could help, which is I would tell myself, um, hey man, you're fine, right? Like people like you, you'll be okay. Just keep trying to be okay. But I would say start going to the gym. That is a habit that you need to work on. Like start going to the gym, and also all the things you think you can't do, you can do. You just have to like just keep trying at them, you know?
Mm,
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I battled with like depression a lot and dealing with just really really low self-esteem, and I think I would have loved to have gotten away from that a little bit, just being a little more confident in myself. But then I don't know, because then maybe the not being confident in myself is what pushed me to write harder or to write work harder. Um, I don't know, and I'm also happy where I landed. Like I hate to I feel so
yeah.
bad saying it, but like I have two kids that I love so much, and I have a wife that I love so much, and I create things that I love. I'm just broke. That's okay. So I guess I would tell my younger self like maybe try to go to the gym and be better with money, like take some money class. Oh no, I would just go, dude, nothing. The only thing you need to know,
Nothing.
Bitcoin. The minute you hear
Bitcoin.
about Bitcoin, put some money into it, you'll
Yeah.
fucking get rich.
Buy 50.
Everything, yeah, just by this much. It's not even that much. It's gonna
Yeah.
blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And don't lose it, because I know you'll lose it, right? Like give this.
Yeah.
There's a woman named Tita that's gonna be your wife. Find her. Give
Yeah.
this to her. You don't know her yet. Tell her you're from the future. She needs to hold on to this little hard drive no matter what the fuck happens. You'll see her again in
Yeah.
about 10 years. You'll end up marrying her. That's what you're gonna create your life off of.
Yeah.
And just go to the gym. Actually, you don't need to go to the gym, because when you have that money, you'll get a personal trainer. So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. You'll
Just,
go to the gym
just
eventually.
buy Bitcoin. Yeah, that's a fair enough answer. That's the only answer I would have.
That's great. For people watching on YouTube, go to gregfstone.com for more info on Greg. And you follow him on Instagram, Greg F. Stone on Instagram. All links are in the description below. And check out his special on YouTube, Nobody Presents. The links are right there in the bio. Anything else you want to promote,
Yeah.
Greg?
Oh yes, please. I have a podcast called Welcome to Talktown. It's amazing. It's really fun. I do it with my friend Anthony DeVito and Allison Leiby, and I stream every Wednesday on YouTube and Twitch, and I do like little music shit. It's kind of fun. It's just there. We get a little high and we do it together. It's kind of
Nice.
like little music shit. It's kind of fun. It's just there.
I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" That's so fun. I was,
Yeah, a little of that.
I love it. I love
I was
it.
gonna
People are
also
going to check that out.
I was gonna bomb your podcast and just do this the whole time. Uh, then I forgot. Well, we also had a really good start, so then I just never got a chance to
You're
do
like, no, I'm not going to ruin this Canadians podcast.
it. Yeah. You know Nathan McIntosh? That's my Canadian hookup.
Yes, yeah. I love Nathan McIntosh.
One of my
Great.
favorite people on
Done
earth.
some shows with him in Toronto. Yeah, he's awesome comic.
Yeah, he's great. That's one of
Like,
my.
I got to get him on here too. Yeah.
Yeah, you think you're not going to talk with me? You get that motherfucker on. You're not even. Don't even say hello. Just hit record. Do 1 hour.
And here's what's wrong with the fucking AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Greg.
All right,
Well,
man.
thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
I'll probably never
Later,
see you
bye.
again, but I
Yeah,
hope I do.
I'll be in New York sometime. All right, later.